Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Wayne, your host. We're in Prague. Now, why is that special? Or why is that unique? Or why do you even want to hear about it? Because 7 years ago, just a little over 7 years ago, I didn't belong here. And there was no way I would have survived here on my own because I was a drunk. And I was a drunk who suffered from all kinds of vices. And if you've ever been to Prague, you may know that there are all kinds of vices here that you can get yourself involved with, and you can take care of just about any fix that you have that you want to do. This visit is unique because, one, I wasn't going to shoot this video outside, but I crossed over borders, so I lost all my signal and I lost all the data ability and everything else to do things on the move. Prague is amazing, by the way. If you look at any of the images right over there, you'll see that it is beautiful, and it's a city that is alive. And just before 2008, you wouldn't have been able to come to Prague, and you wouldn't have been able to enjoy all of this. And if you were me in 2008, you wouldn't even remember it. So today's video is unique because it ties in with the moral compass. And I apologize for the camera setup. However, I got to do what I got to do. I'm in the hotel room. Today's our last day, but I just wanted to share this with you. Looking at the images, you'll be able to see that it is nice here. But there's a lot behind the scenes, and there is a lot behind certain alleys and everything else. On the first day that I got here, folks, I had to go park a van, and because I brought a group down, I had to go park a van, and turns out I had no idea where I was. And I was actually kind of floored because generally I'm pretty good at orienteering a map, and generally I'm pretty good at finding my own way. In this case, folks, the traffic pattern here in Prague is something special. Matter of fact, if you go to Google Maps or to Google Satellite and look at the image that it shows you, well, it reminds me of two things. That used to be my brain just scattered all over the place and a billion things going on at once. And next, there is no rhyme or reason to any of the traffic pattern. As a matter of fact, on the street, the tram is allowed to ride alongside cars and vice versa. And I'm allowed to drive a van down a tram line with a bicycle lane right next to me that converges into pedestrian traffic. It's just madness. The interesting facts are, if I was here, let's say in 2008, the first thing I would have done is try to find a woman. That's the first thing I would have done. The next thing I would have done is see how drunk I can get. The next thing after that, folks, I probably would have got high. Now, here in Prague, it's very unique because in the state, it's becoming more and more accepted, and it's legal and everything else. Now, I don't want you to take what I'm saying, in any disregard for sobriety or any wellness that this channel is actually about. But it interests me because when I'm drunk, I do a lot of impulsive things, and this would have been one of them. Now, I'm going to leave that word out. There are dispensaries everywhere around here. Everywhere. I'm talking everywhere around this city. And it's unique because none of it struck me as something I wanted to do. As well as when I got to the hotel. Hang on, let me back up just a little bit. So when I was orienteering and everything else and trying to get back, now Prague is separated into 7 districts, I think, and 1 through 7. I was supposed to be in 7 to park, but I ended up in 5. And I'll put a map up right there, and you'll be able to see the districts. So I ended up over there, and I didn't know where I was at all. And as a matter of fact, the map that you're looking at right now, the map that you're looking at was sitting on the driver's seat, but it was not in my eyes view, and so I didn't even grab it. that was mistake number one, folks. And then I wandered around Prague on foot, trying to go to a hotel that the first time I had ever been there was dropping these folks off. And it took me almost 3 hours to get back to where I needed to be. That was a long time to be lost in a city that I have no idea about. If I was lost in 2008, or I was lost just over 7 years ago here in Prague, I probably would have never made it back. I probably would have ended up at the first bar that I came across, and I probably would have ended up getting drunk, and I probably would have ended up doing something else, and I probably would have ended up somewhere outside of Prague. So that's why this video is unique, folks. Not only is this a beautiful city, and not only is this actually a really good place to be and a really good place to visit, and I'm fortunate to have done so, but I'm not drunk. I had no desire to drink while I was here, and I have no desire to use drugs, and that is monumental for someone like me. And I have no desire to, go see women that I don't know. And like I said, those are monumental facts, because just over 7 years ago, that would have been the first thing that I did when I got here. Instead, I went to all of these beautiful places that you're seeing right up there on the right or behind me or whatever. And I got to enjoy the city of Prague, and I got to enjoy all 7 districts because I visited all of them. Today I went to the palace. That was pretty neat. And those were in the first reels that you saw. And so instead of indulging in my own vices and bending to the will of my alcoholic brain, I actually got to be a part of the experience here, and that's what this video is all about, folks. And I didn't skew my moral compass, and I didn't break my integrity, and I did keep my honor, and I am intact. And tomorrow at about 5 a.m., I'm going to go get the van that I dropped off over 30 minutes away. Hopefully it's still there. I'm going to pay for it, which I wouldn't have done just over 7 years ago. I would have found a way out of that parking lot. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to pick up those folks, and we're going to make our way back to Germany. And we're going to have a great time. And I'm going to go see my wife. So this video is for you guys, because we can change and we can do different things in the same places that we used to be, with different results, and results that are favorable, without needing to drink and without needing to use, and with being able to enjoy the experience without getting lost in it. If this video made any sense for you, I'm shooting from the hip right now, because I did want to put this out before I left. I thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel so far, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate your will to be better. And life is a garden, daggone it. Dig it. I'll see you from Germany.